in order to have children from her. GE 16. 1-3 The resultant difficulties made it apparent that it was not Jehovah's way of fulfilling the promise previously made to Abraham concerning the seed. GE 15. 1-16 Becoming aware of her pregnancy, Hagar began despising her mistress. When Sarah voiced complaint, Abraham granted his wife full authority to deal with Hagar as her maidservant. Humiliated by Sarah, Hagar ran away from her mistress, but returned in obedience to divine direction, after which she gave birth to Ishmael. GE 16. 4-16 About 13 years after Ishmael's birth, on the occasion of Abraham's being divinely commanded to circumcise all the males of his household, Abraham was also instructed to call his wife, no longer by the name Sarai, but Sarah, meaning princess. Regarding Sarah, God said, I will bless her and also give you a son from her. And I will bless her and she shall become nations. Kings of peoples will come from her. GE 17. 9-27 Not long thereafter, at Mamre, one of 3 angelic visitors reaffirmed that Sarah would give birth to a son. Overhearing this, Sarah began to laugh inside herself, saying, After I am worn out, shall I really have pleasure, my Lord being old besides? Reproved for laughing, Sarah fearfully denied having done so. GE 18. 1-15 Row 9. 9 Since Sarah is cited at Hebrews 11. 11 as an example of faith, evidently her laughter was not an expression of complete unbelief, but merely indicated that the thought of having a son in her old age apparently struck her as somewhat humorous. Sarah's acknowledgement inside herself of Abraham as her Lord was indicative of her obedience and subjection to her husbandly head, and her example is recommended to Christian wives. 1 3. 5, 6 Sarah and her husband began residing at Gerar. As previously, Abraham referred to his wife as his sister. The king of Gerar, Abimelech, then took Sarah. Again Jehovah's intervention saved her from being violated. Upon returning Sarah to Abraham, Abimelech gave livestock and male and otex to acute Miritra Longo. Sarah 864 figures in a symbolic drama. In writing to the Galatians, the Apostle Paul showed that Abraham's wife Sarah represented the Jerusalem above, the mother of Spirit-anointed Christians, the spiritual seed of Abraham. Like Sarah, the Jerusalem above, God's symbolic woman, has never been in slavery, and therefore, her children are also free. For an individual to become a free child of the Jerusalem above, having her freedom, he must be emancipated from the bondage of sin by the Son of God. 4. 22-31 5. 1. FTN as Christ Jesus told the natural descendants of Abraham. Most truly I say to you, every doer of sin is a slave of sin. Moreover, the slave does not remain in the household forever. The son remains forever. Therefore if the Son sets you free, you will be actually free. Job 8. 34-36 See free woman. Hagar. Saraph from a root meaning burn. A descendant of Shelah of the tribe of Judah, one who took a Moabite wife or wives for himself. JB, NW perhaps, according to alternate readings, Saraph ruled in Or for Moab. 1ch4. 21, 22, as, at, KJ, Mo, Ro, RS. Sardis. The ancient capital of Lydia in Western Asia Minor and a center of the worship of an Asiatic goddess, linked either with Artemis or with Cybele. Situated east of the Gedi's formerly Hermus River, Sardis lay about 50 kilometers 30 mi east of Thyatira now Kissa and about 75 kilometers 47 mi of Smyrna now Izmir. The Acropolis of the city occupied an almost inaccessible rocky crag. Although a mountain range limited communication with areas in the S, Sardis commanded the EW trade route. Its commercial activity and trade, the great fertility of surrounding land, and the manufacture of woolen cloth and carpets contributed much toward making Sardis wealthy and important. At one time Sardis may have had a population of about 50,000 persons. In the 6th century BCE Cyrus the Great defeated the last Lydian king, Croesus, and for over 200 years thereafter Sardis served as the capital for the western part of the Persian Empire. In 334 BCE the city surrendered without resistance to Alexander the Great. Later it came under the rule of Pergamum and then Rome. A great earthquake nearly leveled Sardis in 17 CE, but the city was rebuilt with generous aid from Rome. The Jewish historian Josephus indicates that in the 1st century BCE there was a large Jewish community in Sardis. Jewish Antiquities, 14, 259x, 24. By the latter part of the 1st century CE the Christian congregation that had been established at Sardis needed to wake up spiritually. However, there were also persons associated with this congregation who had not defiled their outer garments. 3. 1-6. Prominent ruins at the ancient site of Sardis include those of the Temple of the Ephesian Artemis or Cybele, a Roman theatre and stadium, and an ancient synagogue. Picture, Volume 2, p. 946. Sardius sardimidal.us. A translucent, reddish-brown variety of the mineral chalcedony used as a gemstone. According to Pliny the Elder, it was named after the city of Sardis in Lydia, where it was first introduced to that part of the world. However, it has been suggested that the name originated with